Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas, or nearly Merry Christmas. Only a few days left to go. I am so excited for this Christmas. I have got a crazy schedule packed in. I'm visiting pretty much all my family. I'm going to be traveling everywhere across the blooming country, it feels like. But I cannot wait. I'm so excited to see everybody, to enjoy, to laugh, to eat, to hug, to just see everyone. Just think about like this time a couple of years ago when we were in COVID and you couldn't even hug your family on Christmas. And now we're back to normal. Like these are things that we should never take for granted. We're so lucky. So I can't wait to see everybody. I can't wait to enjoy Christmas. And I hope you guys have got a lovely Christmas planned as well. Today, I'm going to be talking about some little wellness tips and tricks you can take through into your Christmas to kind of help you make a few healthier choices during the Christmas period. Some things that I do, some are by, to be honest, pure coincidence, but some of them are active decisions that I make just to kind of help me feel good over Christmas, because there's nothing worse than feeling a bit like gloggy and I don't know what's the word when you're sluggish. And yeah, so these are kind of some of my little tips to help me get through Christmas and feel really good the whole way through. Hi, my name is Meg, and you are listening to the Wellness Musings with Meg podcast. I am a fully qualified beautician and yoga teacher who has studied and worked in health and wellness since 2017. I have been obsessed with wellness my entire life and have always wanted to share my passions more. If you love health, wellness, and yoga and want to learn more, this podcast is for you. I will be bringing you all things wellness, from diet and lifestyle to beauty tips and tricks, and of course, yoga as well. So grab yourself a green tea and find a tranquil spot, and let's jump in. I absolutely love Christmas. I think I'm a very blessed person because I've actually got a younger brother who is going to be 10 this year. So he's really quite young. So for him, like Christmas is a really magical experience. And so I get to take that across with me. I've then also got another younger sister who's 7 years younger than me. So I've never really gone through a period in my life where Christmas hasn't been this really magical, fun experience. And I actually think that's helped me because even though my little brother is now getting a bit older, and I think come the next couple of years, Christmas is maybe not going to be like how it is through the eyes of a child anymore, you know? But I don't care if my siblings think I'm crazy. I'm probably the most childish one out of the lot. Like, I really do try and soak up every moment of Christmas. I try and enjoy every second. And I use it as an excuse to enjoy life. And I don't think there should be any shame in that at all. If you love Christmas, you love celebrating, even if it's tiny, like on New Year's Eve, for example, I just clean my house and then relax on Christmas Day, New Year's Day, with a completely clean house. That's my tradition, but it makes me so happy. Like, I still enjoy it. And it's these little things over this period of time that just make me happy. And they're the things I try to do to make me enjoy this period of time. But we're talking like health and wellness things that kind of make you feel good. Now, I will hold my hands up and say that I definitely don't eat as healthily on Christmas as I do throughout the rest of the year, but that's because I'm a human being. Like, I want to enjoy this point in my life. I want to enjoy with my family. I don't want to be worrying about how many pieces of fruit and veg I've eaten. I don't want to be worrying if I've eaten maybe a bit more chocolate than usual, but it is about thinking in moderation. And I also think that because I am mindful and I eat very mindfully, I move my body throughout the whole of the year, like at least 4 times a week. I am doing some form of exercise. I walk the dog pretty much every single day. I'm out in nature. I'm a busy, active person with a healthy lifestyle. It means that when I get to this point, I actually don't feel like I need to worry so much about what I'm eating over Christmas, because it's like my reward almost for being a healthy person over the year. So if you are like me and you're someone who does have a healthy lifestyle, maybe like I think one of the biggest things, to be honest, is drinking, and I don't drink. And I think when I look at my friends and my family who, they drink throughout the whole of the year and then they drink a lot over Christmas. And I do think that's one of the biggest things that can make your like Christmas experience a bit more sluggish. And I'm not saying don't drink, because for some people that's just unrealistic. Some people really enjoy having a drink. And yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning of this, I'm very lucky, I think, in my opinion, that I don't enjoy drinking. So I don't ever wake up with like a hangover. I don't ever feel like I need a drink to relax. I don't really want a drink. And I think that does help me to be sluggish. But if you're someone who maybe wants to think about doing like a sober Christmas, mocktails are brilliant for that, because I know like a lot of my family will wake up and, for example, my little brother's birthday is on Boxing Day, and my dad has him for the morning, and my stepmom then takes him for the rest of the day. So we need to be up and ready, raring to go on Boxing Day for my little brother, so that we can celebrate for his birthday. And if you've drunk excessively on the 25th, a lot of like my family will wake up and they're really sluggish, they're a bit hungover. And like for me, that I take my little brother's birthday very seriously, because he's like my whole world. I like to make it fair with all my other siblings. I would never, with all my other siblings, because they're all younger than me, I would never like go out the night before, get really drunk, and then go to their birthday party hungover. Like that, just for me, I don't think that's fair on them, because I want to be there for them. I want to enjoy it in the same way that they do. And I think I notice it on Boxing Day when my family are a bit sluggish, a bit like hungover. They're not really in the right frame of mind, maybe, and they just want to lay in. And it's because they've had quite a bit to drink the day before. So that, I think, is a brilliant way, maybe cutting back on alcohol, or choosing mocktails over cocktails, or like alcohol free options, just to give you a little bit more energy over the time, just to make you feel a little bit like awake. Or maybe choosing specific days to drink as well. So instead of like drinking on Christmas Eve and then on Christmas Day and then on Boxing Day, like that's 3 days of potentially heavily drinking. And that can make you feel really sluggish, feel really like rubbish, and just mean that you're not maybe in the right frame of mind to take all of the good things in. Yeah, we all know that when you drink, it doesn't make you feel good. So maybe just like limiting the amount, having cocktails, mocktails. Like I said, I feel like I'm lucky in that I don't enjoy drinking, because I don't feel like I need it to have a good time. Um, so yeah, I always wake up in the morning, and I make a conscious effort to like not behave like a child. I think that's the wrong way of putting it, but like getting excited for the day. I have so many people in my life that are the same age as me, maybe a bit older, and they just don't. And I always think like it doesn't, it just makes the experience more fun. Like I will do things like I always make a focaccia a couple of nights before, and let the dough rest, and then I get up. Honestly, I'm so much like a child. I get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm the oldest of all my siblings, and I'm the only one up. I go and like make this focaccia, and then we all get up and have like fresh focaccia in the morning. And it's just really nice little kind of tradition that I enjoy doing. I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody needs to get up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and make a focaccia, because that's just ridiculous. But it's these little things that make me like excited, and I like to like enjoy the day. I like to be really grateful for every moment. I try and immerse myself in every second at Christmas. And yeah, I do get really excited about it. And I am going to be that mum when I have got children that's like more excited than their own kids. I like to dance, I like to sing, I like to enjoy myself, because life is too short not to. There are so many people that would do anything to be able to celebrate with their family at Christmas, and they might not be here, they might not be able to. And I just like to make the most of it as much as I possibly can. Another thing as well that I tend to do is I try and get out and walk. So I don't really do much like physical yoga or meditations over Christmas. I like to give my body a rest. I will do like mild stretching and things, but I do like to give my body a really nice rest over Christmas. And then I kind of get back into it all New Year's Day. But I do like to walk. even before I had my dog, I like to kind of get out, get walking. I think the only day that I don't really do that is maybe Christmas Eve because I tend to be traveling, and sometimes on Christmas Day as well, because if nobody else feels like going, I really want to like enjoy that day with all my family. I don't necessarily want to be like out for half an hour walking without them. Um, but yeah, I do like to really enjoy the Christmas period. When it comes to like things like a lot of people complain that they put weight on over Christmas, again, I'm very I this doesn't sound like something to be grateful for, but I am. I have a dairy allergy, which means that I can't eat any cheese and I can't really eat much dessert like ice creams. Annoyingly, I can't have Baileys, like it smells amazing and I can't have it. Like I can't have like the brandy butter. Most and do you know what? I don't really like Christmas pudding. Like I don't actually like the taste of it all that much. I love a mince pie, but Christmas pudding I'm not a fan of. I can't have the cream, I can't have the custard. Like there's so many things that I can't have because I am lactose intolerant. But actually, I actually think in hindsight, I used to be vegan and I used to think that really kind of helped with like my waistline during the Christmas period because obviously wasn't having lots of meat and I wasn't then having the dairy on top of that. But I have started eating meat again. I don't know how long I will be doing that for, but I have started eating meat again at the moment. And I still find that Christmas is not so much of a problem because I can have desserts, but I can't have all the desserts and I can have some chocolate, but I can't have all of the chocolate because I have to basically find what does and doesn't work. And when I go to people's houses and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you can't eat these crisps because they've got whey powder on them or they're cheese flavored, or I'm so sorry you won't be able to have this ice cream or this, what are they called? The roulades because it's got cream in it. And I'm like, it's a shame because I would have loved to, but it's actually really not a problem because it means that I'm not like excessively eating. So I do think like I'm not saying go lactose intolerant, but maybe just thinking about how much, like I see how much a lot of people eat. And again, because of having this intolerance, it means a lot of food when I go out for meals and stuff I can't actually eat. And the amount of times I go out to like family dinners and my family like eats so much that they feel sick and they've literally overindulged, they've gorged themselves. But I don't ever feel that bad because I always have to choose a less heavy option because I can't have the cheese, I can't have like creamy sauces. I have to choose lighter meals and I can't have most of the desserts because like I have to choose a lighter option or a dairy free option, and there just isn't many of those options really. So I do think that really helps me over Christmas. I think it's important to try and like stay mindful of what you're doing. It's very easy, like with there's so much food around on Christmas, to just overly eat and eat and eat. And like that is one good thing about having this intolerance, is that I can't just do that. I can't just grab handfuls of whatever I fancy because I can't eat it necessarily. I have to like be aware of what I'm putting in my body. I can't just grab any old thing and shove it in my mouth because otherwise I could make myself very sick. So I do think that that can be really helpful as well, which I know, you know, if you're someone listening to this and you haven't got an intolerance, just try and get in the habit of like noticing, like mindful eating. I think that's the best way to do it. Enjoy everything that you are eating and drinking, but do it mindfully and do it without excession, which can be easier for some people than others. But mindful eating is about just noticing and making slightly better decisions. So, for example, if you've already had loads of nibbles, you've been snacking all day, and then you think, God, I'm getting a bit full and I'm going to be having my Christmas dinner in like an hour or so. And then someone opens another pack of crisps and goes, hey, do you want a load? Instead of going, yeah, why not? Like, well, I've already had some nibbles and I'm actually feeling quite full. Like it's about noticing what is going on in your tummy and then working from that. You know, you just try not to be excessive. And I think when you eat like that as well, you're more grateful for what you're putting in your body and you're more like, you actually taste things more because you are mindful of what you're putting in there. You're just not like mindlessly putting stuff into your mouth and just eating whatever you come across. I sound like such a what's the word? Introverted person. I guess I am a little bit. I love seeing people, but I will like always hide away for about 10 minutes at some point during the day. And I've always done this ever since I was a child. I will go somewhere and I will like just completely shut myself off from the world for like 10 minutes. If it's like if I'm at my nanny's, I'll go and sit in like her bedroom so no one knows I'm there, and I just sit on her bed and just take a second to breathe. Sometimes I'll even just like go to the toilet, and like I'll sit at my grandparents, for example, and they've got a bathtub, and multiple years I just go and I like sit in the bathroom. The door is locked, no one can talk to me, no one can get in, and I just sit on the bathtub and I just like take a second to breathe, to like bring myself back into the moment, to not talk to people and just like focus on the here and now. And I have been known to do that more than one time in the day as well. And that helps me because it just makes me kind of, I don't know, Christmas can be quite an overwhelming time. We're not used to having gifts to open all day. We're not used to having lots of people. And if it's like my family, there's often like loud Christmas music blaring and people laughing and joking and singing and dancing and lots of food and heavy food and drinking. And it's really quite an intense, like overstimulating atmosphere. And I love it, but I definitely find, and I like the idea in my head that I know that there is always a quiet place within that house that I can just go, take a second, take a couple of breaths. No one knows I've even gone, they don't even notice. And then I come back to it. And those are kind of my tips for Christmas, I guess, into having more of like a wellness orientated Christmas. Christmas can be very intense, it can be very difficult, and some people find it a lot easier than others. Um, but this is like how I get through it. I absolutely love Christmas, don't get me wrong, but I definitely like the fact that I've got these little tips and tricks because they just help me to feel better over the Christmas period. I like to get excited. I like to enjoy every single moment. I like to really make the most of it. But it is balance, it's about moderation, and that's what helps you to bring the most out of it. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope I haven't sounded like too much of a Scrooge, like, don't do this, don't do that. I'm not like telling you what to do. I'm just telling you the best things that I do and have done every single Christmas that's made me feel really good. And I've enjoyed every single day, not just like one or two of the days. And yeah, like all the little things that kind of make my Christmases a little bit more special. And yeah, yeah, don't be afraid to be a child and to enjoy your life. Like that's the main thing I always think about Christmas. Like I don't ever feel silly or bad for being the most childish one that wakes up first and gets really excited and is dancing around the kitchen and singing. Like I absolutely make a fool of myself at Christmas, and I love it. I don't care. Like I just want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy being with my family. And I think that's what I want everyone to take away from this episode is like how blessed and lucky we are to even be able to have Christmas and celebrate Christmas. Like just think if we didn't have a Christmas to celebrate, winter would be quite a dull, difficult time to go through, especially if you're living, like I live in England, so it gets really quite cold and dreary. So yeah, Christmas is an amazing time, and I hope every single one of you has an absolutely fantastic Christmas. And I will speak to you all next week. I think the next one is on Boxing Day. I can't remember. So it will be just after Christmas. Have an absolutely amazing Christmas. Enjoy it. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy whatever your plans are. And I look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.